everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a quick chatty video of some do's and don'ts and things that I learnt on my mini solo trip around Europe and Marrakesh. So just to recap, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I will put them up in the corner, you can go and check them out. I recently did a 2-week trip around Barcelona, Budapest and Marrakesh by myself. It was a trip that I already had booked before I decided to also book a year-long backpacking trip around the world. So I kind of used this trip as more of like a practice run, and here's some things that I learnt on the way. Number one, you do not need as much as you think you need. So I only took hand luggage and I thought I did really well. Again, I will pop the video for what I packed in the corner, and I thought I packed quite minimally. I thought that everything I took was going to be things that I definitely needed. Turns out there were things I didn't pack that I wanted and things that I did pack that I didn't need. For example, my hair straighteners. So I have always used hair straighteners. I have kind of wild hair. It's tied up today because it got a little bit out of control. I'm not planning on taking my straighteners when I go backpacking around the world, so it was kind of like a, we'll use them as little as possible. And I surprised myself. I didn't use them once. So I just let my hair be wild and free. I didn't even have a hairdryer in Marrakesh, and it like got really curly and I actually really loved it. And so I didn't use them at all. And they didn't take up a great deal of space, but they were like an extra lump in my bag. So they were definitely something I could have done without. Bright and colourful dresses. So I took a bright green and black leopard print style dress. I think I wore it once. It was maybe a little bit too bright, and as a first time solo traveller I didn't want to always draw so much attention to myself. I don't think I'll take stuff like that on my main trip. It felt a little bit too dressy. And I definitely preferred wearing more neutral colours which I could mix and match, and because I had very varied weather I didn't really want to be wearing a bright green dress when it was pouring down with rain, and I found that I couldn't really put a lot of things with it. So I definitely have had a relook at my wardrobe, and things like bright red t-shirts I don't think I'm going to take because I just don't think I'm going to wear them, and I'm going to be taking more natural coloured clothing that all kind of goes together. My light trainers. I am so glad that I packed light and dark trainers. So oh, they're down here actually. So I took these as my main trainers with me. I bought them specifically to go away with. They're not white, but they're still light, and I prefer a light trainer. However, I did not take into consideration the fact that when it rains, light trainers get very dirty, and I kind of trashed them a little bit. So I quite often wore my black workout trainers. Sorry, we have a dog today and he's on the move. You right, Gregs? Yes, so I actually ended up wearing my black workout trainers a lot more than I thought I would. Not just to work out in, but also to walk around. Sorry. Greggy, what are you doing? Come on in. That's it. Let me get. Everyone, this is Greg. Okay, anyway, continuing. Okay, things I did miss and I wish I brought with me. A nail file. So I did treat myself to a manicure when I was away. They are so cheap in Marrakesh and really good. But I did break a nail, I think on about day 2 of when I went, and it would have just been really handy to have one. So I wish I packed one of those. I also didn't pack my floss. Now this wasn't intentional, this was an accident, but I missed my floss so much, and it sounds so stupid, but oral hygiene is very important to me, and I really missed having floss, so definitely pack some floss if you're going anywhere. My first aid kit. So I have prepped a first aid kit to take on my big trip, but for some reason I didn't take it on my mini one. So stupid, because I actually trapped my finger in a sliding door the first day I got to my hotel in Marrakesh, and I took a massive chunk out of my finger. It was touch and go as to whether I needed to pop to the hospital and get some stitches. I didn't, it was fine. but I had nothing. I had no plasters or anything, so that was a massive error on my part. Luckily I was in a hotel and they were really happy and helpful. They got me sorted out and they gave me a couple of bits to use, and I think with the sun it healed really quickly. But yeah, take a first aid kit, even if you're only going away for a few days, even just some plasters and some antiseptic cream. I really could have done with that, because accidents do happen and you don't need to be away for 2 days or 2 years. They can happen at any time. A hat. I wish I'd taken a hat with me, because although I didn't need it in Barcelona that much, I missed one, and I always meant to buy one before I got to Marrakesh, where it was going to be 40 degrees and I knew I'd need one. I didn't have one, and I found it quite hard to try and find one to buy that wasn't ridiculously overpriced. I ended up getting a really cute one from Marrakesh Medina, but it was like the day before I went home, and I just feel like that was maybe a little bit of a wasted money. It also isn't easy for me to take on my next travels, so I'm going to have to buy another cap. And yeah, I just wish I kind of planned ahead a little bit better with that one. And also I wish I'd taken some sandals and not just flip-flops. More so for daytime, when I was walking around and it was quite nice weather. It would have been nice not to have to wear trainers and socks. I cannot wear trainers without socks. I don't care if I look stupid. I'd rather look stupid and be comfortable and not get blisters. But when it's quite warm, so over 20 degrees, my feet did get quite hot, and sometimes it would have just been nice to throw on a pair of sandals, because I find flip-flops quite hard to walk in. So I've now bought some Birkenstocks and they will be coming with me on my big trip, but yeah, I maybe could have done with those on my little trip as well. Number 3, you can't control everything. So things like the weather. I thought I was going to have glorious weather. I mostly packed for glorious weather. Let me tell you, it was not always glorious weather. So I had a lot of rain. I think it rained constantly in Budapest. I think I maybe had one sunny afternoon. Apart from that, it poured down. So I was so grateful that I packed an umbrella. Would have been very lost without it. I just had to get on with it. You can't help it. If it rains, it's gonna rain. You can't do anything about it. You just have to make the best out of a wet situation. Number 4, you are not going to love everywhere that you go, and that's okay. I was not a great fan of Budapest. My first impressions of Budapest were quite poor. I just didn't like it. It wasn't what I expected, and I was quite disappointed. However, it was still a really beautiful city, and my second day I had a really nice day, and I saw more of the city, more of the main tourist things, which were just beautiful. The architecture was lovely. The sun came out for a little while, which I think helped. And I again made the best of the situation. Yeah, you just aren't going to love everywhere that you go, and I think with the whole Instagram travel pictures that you see now, everyone expects places to be perfect and beautiful, and in reality there's many different sides to every place that you go, and you're not going to love every part of every place. Number 5, last point, you will meet more people on solo travels than you think, and more than that, you'll want to. I'm so glad I stayed in a hostel in Barcelona. I met some great people in that hostel. I spent time going out with them in the evening one day. It was always nice knowing I was going back to somewhere where I could have a conversation with somebody. Picking a group tour activity is also a great way to meet people. I did 2 tours through a company called Get Your Guide, and the first one was in Barcelona to the monastery in the mountains. I had the best group of people I could have wanted, and they were more than happy for me to just tag along with their group. They were also English, which was nice, and yeah, I just gelled really well with them. In Marrakesh I did a camel ride tour and ended up being put with a big group of women who were all on the same yoga retreat, and they were so friendly and again so welcoming, and it was a really nice way to be in a group of people, just even for an afternoon. So I definitely recommend doing some group activities, either through your hostel, which is quite often offered for free, or through a organised group tour that you can easily book online. There are many companies to choose from. You'll also meet quite a lot of random people just out and about. People will ask you to take your photo. I, for example, on my first night in Barcelona, met a girl down by the harbour. She saw me trying to use my self-timer. She then started to do the same thing. I spotted her, went over, we had a little chat, we ended up taking some photos of each other, which was just really nice, especially on my first evening there. It just made me feel really welcome. So you'll meet people in the most unexpected, random places, so you're never really alone. There's always somebody around you that you can interact with if you really feel lonely or if you really just need a bit of contact with other people. It's weird and it's fun and it's random and you'll love it. So that's it for today's video. It's short and sweet today. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you have any tips or anything that I've not mentioned or that you found and really think they'd be helpful, pop them in the comments below. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you guys very soon for another video. Thanks, bye!